Your company just rolled out AI training. Maybe you did the mandatory modules. Maybe you got a Coursera badge. Maybe you even learned to write a decent prompt. And your manager looked pleased and said, "Great, now go use it." But here is what nobody told you. There are 4 skills that companies are already, quietly, measuring their people on. Not in a formal review, not in a job description, yet. But in every restructuring, every expansion of scope, every quiet decision about who gets trusted with more, these 4 skills are the invisible scorecard. Most AI training gets you to skill 3. The one that actually separates career builders from task processors is skill 4. And almost no one is teaching it. In the next 10 minutes, I will show you what all 4 skills are, what each looks like in a real workday, and give you a 4-question audit to score yourself today. Let's go. Here is a stat that surprised me when I first saw it. Companies are investing billions in AI. Adoption numbers look good on paper. But in the same data, something else appears. The value creation is not showing up. Why? Because there is a difference between using AI and getting value from AI. People open the tool, they generate output, they submit it. But they have not changed how they think about their work. They are doing the same thing faster, not doing a better thing. Researchers call it performative compliance. You look like you have adopted AI. Your output volume is up. But the judgment, the discernment, the decision-making has not changed. And that is exactly what your organization is going to start measuring. Not whether you used AI, whether using AI made you better at your job. That requires 4 specific skills, and they build on each other. Let me show you the stack. Skill 1, use case identification. Skill 2, tech fluency. Skill 3, effective prompting. Skill 4, discernment. Most corporate AI training starts at skill 3, which means a lot of employees are technically capable of prompting AI but have no idea when they should, how it actually works, or whether the output they just received is trustworthy. Let me walk you through each one with a real-world example. Skill 1 is about recognition, not execution. It is the ability to look at your own workday and ask, where could AI create a meaningfully better outcome here, not just a faster one? Most people wait to be told. Their company installs Copilot. Their manager says, try using it for meeting notes, and they do. That is compliance. It is not skill 1. Skill 1 is when you see a pattern your colleagues have not seen yet. Here is what it looks like in practice. Imagine you're a project manager. You spend 2 hours every Friday writing a status update that is technically accurate, but nobody reads. Skill 1 is realizing. The reason nobody reads it is not the length. It is that every stakeholder needs a different version of the truth. The engineer wants blockers and dependencies. The executive wants red, yellow, green, and business impact. The client wants confidence and next steps. Skill 1 is recognizing that you currently write one update for all 3 audiences, and that AI could generate 3 tailored versions from one source in under a minute. That insight, the pattern recognition, that is what separates people who use AI from people who deploy AI strategically. The question companies are going to ask is not, does this person know how to use AI? It is, does this person see where AI should be applied before anyone tells them? Skill 2 is widely misunderstood. People hear tech fluency and assume it means knowing how to code, understanding transforming architecture, or becoming an AI engineer. It does not mean any of those things. Tech fluency for a non-technical professional means understanding 3 things. First, LLMs do not know things. They predict things. There is a critical difference. When an LLM gives you an answer, it is producing the most statistically likely continuation of your input, not recalling a fact. That is why it can be completely confident and completely wrong at the same time. Second, LLMs have no concept of time. They were trained on data with a cutoff date. They do not know what happened last week. They do not know what is true today. Third, LLMs are pattern matchers, not reasoners. They are extraordinary at finding structure in language. They are unreliable at multi-step logical reasoning unless you scaffold it deliberately. Why does this matter for your career? Because tech fluency is what allows you to know when to trust AI output and when to question it. Someone without tech fluency receives an AI-generated answer and treats it as a fact. Someone with tech fluency receives the same answer and immediately asks, "How recent is this? Was this in the training data? What would make this wrong?" That gap in thinking is visible to every manager who reviews their team's work. Skill 3 is where most AI training lives. And honestly, it matters. A poor prompt and a great prompt can produce outputs that are worlds apart. But I want to give you a different frame for this skill than you normally hear. Most prompting advice focuses on the mechanics. Be specific, give context, use examples. All true, but the deeper skill is understanding that a prompt is not a request. A prompt is a brief. Think about how a creative director briefs a designer. They do not say, "Make a logo." They say, "Here is the brand. Here is the audience. Here is what the logo needs to communicate. Here is what we have tried before and why it did not work. Here is the constraint on size and format, and here is the decision-maker's taste." That is a brief, and the quality of the output is almost entirely determined by the quality of the brief. The 3 things that separate a mediocre prompt from a great one are: 1. Context. What is the situation? Who is the audience? What is the purpose? 2. Constraint. What format? What length? What tone? What to avoid? 3. Role. Tell the model who it is. Not pretend. Instruct it to operate with the knowledge and standards of a specific professional. The professionals who master prompting fastest are not the ones who learn the most tricks. They are the ones who already know how to give a great brief and recognize that prompting is just briefing in a new medium. And here it is, the one most training skips. Discernment is not about catching AI mistakes, though that is part of it. Discernment is the ability to evaluate AI output against the standard of genuine usefulness to a real human in a real situation. Let me show you the difference. A prompt produces a marketing email. It is well structured. It is grammatically clean. It hits the requested length. The tone is right. Someone without discernment sends it. Someone with discernment asks 4 questions before touching the send button. 1. Is this actually true? Does every factual claim hold up? 2. Is this specific enough? Or is it generic in the way that only AI can be generic? Technically correct, but describing no one's real situation? 3. Does this sound like us? Or does it sound like a polished version of everyone? 4. Would I stake my name on this output? Not just my time. My professional judgment and my reputation? That 4th question is the one that matters most. Because the moment you submit AI output, you are endorsing it. Your manager does not see a disclaimer that says AI generated. They see your name. They see your judgment. Discernment is the skill that keeps AI from eroding your professional reputation instead of building it. And here's the hardest version of this skill. Sometimes the most discerning move is to scrap the AI output and write it yourself. Not because AI is bad, but because the stakes are high enough that the depth of personalization, the specific knowledge, the relationship context, only exists inside you. That judgment, knowing when to use the tool and when to put it down, that is what makes you irreplaceable. Now I want to give you something you can use today. This is the AI skills audit. 4 questions, 1 per skill. Score yourself honestly on each one from 1 to 5. 1 means, I have almost no experience with this. 5 means, I do this consistently and my colleagues would confirm it. No performance, no optimism, your real number. Here are the 4 questions. Add up your scores. Maximum is 20. But more important than the total is the pattern. Find your lowest score. That is your focus for this week. Not all 4. Not a sprint through the whole pyramid. 1 skill, your weakest one. 1 deliberate action this week to strengthen it. If skill 1 is your gap, block 30 minutes tomorrow and map 3 workflows in your job where AI could produce a meaningfully different outcome. Write them down. Pick 1. Build the use case. If skill 2 is your gap, spend 20 minutes this week learning what a knowledge cutoff means and how to verify AI output against a primary source. The next time AI gives you a stat, find a source. If skill 3 is your gap, take your last 3 prompts. Rewrite each one using the context constraint role framework. Compare the outputs. Notice the difference. If skill 4 is your gap, and this is where most people are, Pick your next significant AI-generated work product. Run all 4 discernment questions before you submit it. Write down what you changed. That act of revision is the skill. Comment audit below, and I will send you the full scorecard and the 1 action plan for whichever skill you need to build. Here is the thing about these 4 skills. They are not technical. They are not about being an AI expert. They are about being a better professional who happens to work in a world with AI. Use case identification is strategic thinking. Tech fluency is critical thinking. Effective prompting is communication. Discernment is judgment. These are the same skills that have always separated good professionals from great ones. AI has just made them more visible and more urgently measured. The people who are going to thrive are not the ones who learned to use AI first. They are the ones who deepened their human skills fastest and used AI to amplify them. Run your audit this week. Find your lowest score. Take 1 action. And if you want the next piece of this, the one about how your specific job is being redesigned around these skills right now, it is in the next video. Until then, keep your evidence close, keep your decisions clear, and build work that compounds.